everyone, welcome back to my channel. So today we have a video about the new ROJA perfumes that have just come out for women, the new Essence de Perfume. I have 4 of them here and I'm going to be taking you through the difference between them, my impressions, and explain to you a little bit about the range. I have done a video on ROJA perfumes before. I'll leave the link down below going through their previous ladies range, but these guys are new releases. If you're new here, then hello, welcome. We're all about perfumes here, so do check out my hundreds and hundreds of other perfume videos. And if you're a regular but you haven't subscribed yet, then do hit that subscribe button, show your support. And as always, I'll leave links to where you can buy these perfumes in UK, Europe, United States, down below in the description box. So ROJA perfumes are a British brand. They are made here in Britain, and ROJA Dove is the perfumer behind the brand. They have some stores here in London, beautiful stores, and their bottles and everything are really high-end, really exclusive. It's really fine fragrance using really like the best ingredients. And you can see here the presentation of the boxes. You get this, like, they come in this silk, and the bottles are like really heavy, thick glass. You can see that there is this cool sort of diamante on the front. These are all in this purple, like, fade down colour, and you have this really heavy like lid. You know, everything about the brand is very high-end. These are definitely a niche perfume brand that's very exclusive and uses very like high-end exquisite perfumes. It's definitely not like a mainstream brand. Here in the UK they're sold at places like Harrods and Selfridges, as well as their own store. So let's start with this one that I have here, Reckless. This is described as the spirit of following your heart whilst being nobody's fool. Reckless is the scent of a woman who's willing to take risks to get what she wants, carefree but never careless. Her sunny disposition finds her creating her own rules. So this one is a really pretty geranium smell with some rose and neroli. It's a really pretty floral smell, and then after a while you get a little bit of aromatic notes, coriander, cinnamon, bit of woody, sandalwood, vanilla. There's a lot of different ingredients in here. I'd say all of these don't really smell of one particular thing. You can't really differentiate between the different fragrance notes. They all sort of blend together to create one smell, one unique fragrance. But for me, this one, geranium, is the star of the show with neroli. It feels very feminine. It reminds me a bit of a Chypre type perfume, a sort of Coco Mademoiselle style perfume, but perhaps a bit more floral. There's some jasmine and some rose in there that really complement the geranium. And it's not harsh geranium. I know sometimes geranium can be a bit harsh. This one isn't, because it's working with that neroli, I think, to make it quite bright, but also there's a lot of depth to it. So I have to say the lasting power is insane. It's really, really strong, and the projection is insane. Trying these out here in my apartment, like the whole apartment was filled with the smell. You could smell it even in like the next room. It stayed on clothing, it stays in the hair. These are really, really good quality, strong perfumes for lasting and projection. So you're definitely getting bang for your buck. Like, they're not cheap perfumes, they are high-end, they are expensive, but you're getting something that you don't need to keep reapplying, something that really is strong. And I think especially for something like this, which is a floral perfume, floral perfumes do tend to not last that well compared to, you know, more heavier oriental or aromatic ones, whereas this one, the geranium is sticking through and it's staying. So I think this would be a pretty daytime feminine smell, but you know, because it has that projection, that lasting power, you could rely on this in an evening setting if you still want to go for the floral choice in the evening. And I think it's quite uplifting as well. Neroli is quite a fresh floral, so it reminds me of like a fresh spring scent. And I think it's quite classy as well. If a woman's wearing this, they walk by, I would think, that's an expensive perfume, that's a classy smell. And the name 51 comes from their address at their flagship boutique here in London in the Burlington Arcade, which is number 51. That's like right in the middle of Mayfair, really like quintessentially fancy British arcade, really high end. And I guess this fragrance is all about sort of bringing to life the personality of that store. So this one is a little bit deeper than Reckless. At first you get a very fresh bergamot, so you think, oh, it's going to be a light citrus. But then lots of other notes start coming into play. So anise, cinnamon, clove, cashmere wood. There's also lily of the valley, ylang ylang. So it kind of, to me, settles to become a oriental floral, that clovey floral smell. It's a bit more serious and deeper, I'd say. I'd also say that this was quite unisex. I know these are aimed at women, but I think having all those clovey and woody warm notes in make this relatively unisex. It's quite ambery as well. It's got that benzoin ingredient in, that ambery ingredient. So I definitely say that this is a bit more for someone that wants something more serious, more warm. Perhaps it's a little bit more autumnal. I wouldn't really say this was like a summer or a spring scent. I'd say this is more mysterious and warm. And I actually find, compared to Reckless, this is not quite as strong with the projection. It's more something that's like a close, warm smell, whereas Reckless really did project with this like strong neroli geranium smell. This is a little bit more subtle and yeah, like a warm, subtle smell. But I definitely think this is more unisex. So next we have Enigma Parfum. So this one is described as soft powdery whispers of orris and musk, dances around essential notes of elegant rose de may, but all is not what it seems as an explosion of juicy peach, nature's forbidden fruit, hints at something more mysterious to sink your teeth into. I have to say, I don't get a huge amount of peach in this. I do definitely get that orris woody vibe. I get rose, and I get some woody patchouli, and I get some of the musky heliotrope, but it's not super musky. I would say that this is mainly that orris perfume note, which is not that common. Not many perfumes really major on that. I think this is more similar to the 51 in that it's that warm mix of ingredients. It's more subtle and cozy feeling. Again, it feels quite unisex to me, that woody feeling, that orris feeling, kind of like a natural, you know, like the smell of a nature woody, almost like the smell of like pebbles and stone, if that makes sense. And then there's a bit of a floral vibe. It's got that geranium in as well and the neroli, but they're not the main notes like they were with Reckless. And then lastly here I have Danger. So this one is described as dangerous not just for those wearing it, but for those who smell it on them. A fresh and willing invitation, but beware. Aphrodisiacs lurk in the shadows, daring you to breathe in a little deeper. So this one is, I would say, a intense powdery smell. Powdery clove, powdery rose. It's reminding me a bit of Chanel No. 5, that kind of powderiness, but without the aldehyde. Very traditional smell, very classic smell, similar to the type of thing, that sort of powdery floral of perfumes from the 50s and the 60s. Maybe a little bit like the cloviness from Chanel Coco. Really getting the cloves, ylang ylang, powdery violet, musky violet, and then some rose. Definitely quite strong. I can really smell it, really get this like powderiness and kind of like a powder puff, you know, the smell of a powder puff. So this is very different to the other three. Very feminine, very classic, traditional smell. Cool. So let me know if you've managed to try any of these. I know it's different right now in lockdown, but let me know if you've tried any of these or are any others from the ROJA range your favourites. Let me know what you think in the comments down below. But that's it, guys. So thanks so much for watching as always, and I will see you in the next video.